Mark Martin's here with Premier Charter Schools. Charter schools are a concept that a lot of people aren't really familiar with. Mark Martin, tell us all about it.
One of the best things about coming in and visiting with you guys is I love listening to all this, but it's great to watch it. People miss out on the not being able to watch you guys go through this. Charter schools. I am an open charter school, and that's two terms I always have to define for the parents that come there. Open means I don't have a district. Therefore, I'm not obligated to serve particular kids in the geographic area. So kids from Lubbock schools, Cooper schools, Friendship schools, Shallow Water, ILU, they're all eligible to come to the school. A charter means I got a contract with the state to deliver instruction in a particular way to a particular group of kids. And my charter says I deal with my instructional design is such that I'm not locked into the traditional school methodology. I also am not locked into having to offer all the extracurricular activities, so I can focus my curriculum on the state-adopted curriculum that makes my high school diploma just like everybody else's, and we can offer half-day programs so that students can take advantage of going to school in the mornings, work in the afternoons, or vice versa. We also have a way that we can accelerate their progress. Instead of a traditional 36-week academic year, they can complete coursework in approximately 30 weeks if they stay on pace. Pacing
or less.
Or less. We have about 30% of our kids accelerate their progress, graduate early. One of the reasons I wanted to come on at this time of year is because we have our graduation coming in a couple of weeks. We'll be graduating a total of a little over 30 kids. I've already signed diplomas for 7 or 8 of those kids because I started graduating kids in February. And as they finish their curriculum, we finish their requirements to the state, and they come back to walk the stage, but they can complete earlier than the traditional semester.
So you don't have to put in the 183 days of school?
We do have a schedule that's 176 days for kids.
Yeah.
We match those up with local calendars, and that's a state requirement for funding and things like this. But the kids can finish earlier than that.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like for instance, when my daughter was 16, she was diagnosed with a platelet disorder. It's ITP, immune thrombocytopenia purpura. Basically what it is you don't have as many platelets as most people. So anyway, and with that, some other things were unknown. And so because, she possibly could have had internal bleeding and intracranial bleeding and stuff, she took a nod on the head in athletics or something. She was just like, okay, if I'm not going to be doing the extracurricular stuff, then I don't want to be here, and it was going to be rough. So what she did was didn't return to her high school after Christmas break. Mm-hmm. And so there were 2 courses that she was in the middle of that were year-long courses, and she finished those online, tested out of 7, took 2 more, got distinguished diploma, and, the rest is history. And, I mean, the thing is she did all that in less than 2 months. So it is what you make it. Now there were some people at her school. There was one of the staff members at the school told her, well, you're not going to graduate. You're not going to graduate high school. You're making a big mistake. And so like my daughter.
Obviously an uninformed person.
Well, either that or just, kind of a little self-righteous maybe.
Well, one of the problems is that over the last 15 or 20 years, the educational architecture of the state is become so diversified that there is some confusion. There are some very substantial options parents can take to educate their kids, from the traditional methods to online schools, private schools, charter schools. However, sadly, there are those that try to take advantage of kids and will promise everything but may not be accredited by the state. Or they will promise, we can get you a diploma in 3 weeks. Just come, get on our program. They will give them a piece of paper, but unless it's accredited by the state of Texas, it doesn't have any weight when you go to the next level, whether it's training or a college or a community college or things like that.
Yeah, you really
so
need
you
to
have to be very
careful
careful.
about
You have to
that.
shop, and you have to be very careful that you check the credentials of every place you go. Responsive Ed, who is our parent company, and from Premier High Schools, we've been a part of the charter school system since the charter school became an option in the state of Texas. It's about 15 years. We were the first charter school that they issued at the state of Texas. We are now the largest in the state of Texas. We have branches in Arkansas, Indiana as well. And so we have a solid base. We're not just premier high schools. We have schools for elementary schools, middle schools. We have a Founders Academy, which is an accelerated college prep school. We have them for autistic kids. There's one in San Antonio. So we have a broad-based organization that is solidly in line with the state standards, curricular-wise, and we hold to that very tightly because our integrity is very important as we go forward from year to year to ensure that what we deliver is a solid education for the kids.
You know, when we were growing up, it seems like high school dropouts were a big deal. I mean, it was happening frequently. Are charter schools helping to do away with a lot of that because they're thinking outside the box on how to get kids educated?
The part of what the state did years ago was to come up with a criteria about how do you identify kids that are at risk of dropping out. Mm-hmm. And that's called the at-risk indicators. And my charter, a part of what I do is I agree with the state that I focus a large percentage of my time on that population of kids. You mentioned your daughter had some medical problems, and that placed her in an at-risk possibility. Mm-hmm. She was at risk of not finishing because of medical issues. And those sort of kids we are designed to help because they can take control of their curriculum. They can make some own choices. They're not locked into the calendar. Mm-hmm. Traditional schools are locked into semesters and calendars. And you do your course credits, your half credits, based on not only how much you do, but the calendar they set. We have been turned loose from that so that we're able to accelerate or help kids catch up credits. They may have had medical issues. They've been out of school. They've lost time. They haven't been able to keep up with – their age hasn't kept up with the credits they're supposed to have. So they have a chance with us to come out and do what we call credit recovery, or we give them this cushion during the year that they can come in and work to catch up with those credits and get back on pace. And if they want to go back to traditional school because they do like the extracurricular, that's a possibility.
Okay, Mark, with Premier Charter Schools, aren't you guys like around some milestones right now?
Yeah, we're in our 15th year here in the community. We're having our graduation at the end of last Saturday this month. The mayor, Glenn Robertson, is going to be speaking to our kids. We have a solid number of kids graduating this year, and a large percentage of those kids, you know, by one reason or another, may or may not have had the chance to graduate unless there was a program like this.
Is it very expensive to go to your school?
Oh, my goodness. Just like every other school, we are free. We're an ISD. We are an independent school district financed by the state. And so it doesn't cost tuition to come and enroll. Now, we are re-enrolling our kids for next year, our present enrollment, but we are open for new enrollees starting in the first week in June.
Is there a limitation on the number of enrollees you can accept?
As many chairs as I have.
Okay.
And we have a good number of kids. We have about 35 kids we've served this year. We can serve some more. We don't have a waiting list at this time. But if you would be interested in coming enrolling, the first week in June, we have our new enrollment packets. We'll be able to talk to the kids. We do a sit-down and talk and have an interview and answer questions. And you need to be careful when you enroll your child in any alternative setting that it fits. And we want to make sure it fits.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Mark, if somebody wants to get some more information, you got a website?
It's called responsiveed.com. And it has a link there to particular schools and particular services. You can do an online application there at the same time. We also we're located in Wayland Plaza. Our phone number is 763-1518. We have someone there at the school all through the month of June. We'll have a summer school going to remediate our kids, get them ready for the testing in the summer. We take a few days off in July, but there's always someone there to answer the phone and give you directions.
Nice.
Good.
Premier Charter School, Mark Martin, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.